Hello everybody, Mike from Southern California again, and on today's episode of Voices, I'll be profiling Calgary voice actress Carol-Anne. Probably her most notable work was as Mai Tohika from the My-HIME, My-HIME series, as well as on the Blue Water dub of the Dragon Ball franchise, Valise in Dragon Ball GT, and Teenage Chi-Chi in the first Dragon Ball series. So with that, let's take a look at Miss Day's voice acting career. So first off, a little bit more of an introduction here. Carol-Anne Day is a Canadian voice actress and musician who is known for roles in English dubbed animes. Most of her anime voice work has been for the Calgary-based Blue Water Studios. As y'all know, as I probably mentioned before in some of my other videos, Blue Water is a subsidiary of Ocean Studios. They're based in Calgary, whereas Ocean is based in Vancouver. Of course, aside from voice acting, she is a member of a band along with Oksana Porteous, Andrew Kobuka, and Graham Pendre, called Bellwether. So, she, and I can tell you, because I've listened enough to her voice work, that she's very, very nice lady and somebody you should check out. So anyways, with no further ado, let's take a look at her voice roles. So first off, one of her probably her first voice role for Blue Water Studios was in Ceres Celestial Legend, also known as Ayakashi no Ceres, as Shidori Karuma in that, in which it was about, basically the story was about an angel who fell to earth and had her Hagoromo taken by somebody that kept her bound to the earth as she came down to bathe in the earth. Then in 2002, she was cast in a number of roles, including as Fiona in Zoid's Chaotic Century, Chisa Shinohara in Fancy Lala, which is Fancy Lala, of course, is about is an idol type anime about a young girl who with the help of a couple magical creatures becomes an idol. A little girl who transforms into a teenage pop idol. Carol voices the sister of the main character, so Shisa Shinohara is her name. Also in 2002, she was cast in the English dub of Mobile Fighter G Gundam as Alan B. Beardsley, which is said to be another one of her more well-known roles. I'm sorry. Allensby Beardsley, another one of her. And she was also cast in Better Man as Kaori Sweet 17 and Hinoki's friend. Then in 2003, that's when she was cast in the role of Valise in Dragon Ball GT, in the Blue Water dub of Dragon Ball GT. And also during that time, Blue Water decided to do some dubs of Dragon Ball. Among those roles included, of course, Teenage Chi-Chi. She had several characters here that she voiced including Akane, Julie, Cutie Purple, female customer, nurse, basically, but primarily, probably the one most people care most about is Teenage Chi-Chi. And then she was actually cast in the Gregory Horror Show video game as the Lost Doll and Cactus Girl. Then she was also, in 2004, she was cast in Gregory, the TV series, the TV anime, Gregory Horror Show, The Bloody Cart as Cactus Girl. Again, she reprised her role as Cactus Girl. She was also cast in Mega Man X Command Mission video game as Marino and Reflection. She also, in 2004, in Flame of Recca, she was cast as Yanagi Sakoshida, who was basically the lead heroine and main love interest of the hero Rekka Hanabishi. She was also cast in there as Mifuyu Mikagami and the referee with glasses. She also reprised her role later that year in Gregory Horror Show as Cactus Girl in The Second Guest. And then also in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, she was Ensign 4 Mirasame. In 2005, she was cast in the role. She was cast in Dice Season 1 as Marsha Rizaroff, as well as a bank greeter. And again reprised her role as Cactus Girl in the third installment of Gregory Horror Show, The Last Train. She was also cast in Hoop Day. Now this has two titles it's known by. Sometimes it's called Hoop. Some catalogs will give you Hoop Days as the title of this anime. Sometimes it's Dear Boys. It's a basketball anime. Hoop Days or Dear Boys. Basically, they're the same anime in which it's basically about a basketball team that got into some trouble, was on suspension. Most of the team had quit, but then was starting to be brought back together. The girls' team had remained strong, and in this particular show, one of the main characters, Carol-Anne Day, was cast as Mutsumi Akiyoshi, member of the girls' basketball team. The girls' basketball team was still active. It was the boys' basketball team, and the female basketball coach was coaching both teams at this point. So, also in 2005, she was cast as Frisia Yagyu in Jubei-chan 2, which was basically a kind of an interesting take on the Jubei Yagyu story. In Jubei Yagyu 2, it was I can't remember the subtitle of it, but basically, as Frisia Yagyu, she was supposedly the daughter of Jubei Yagyu and felt that the lovely eye patch, which the main character had, rightfully belonged to her, as well as being a teacher. Also in 2005, she was cast in Doki Doki School Hours as Minako Tominage. Minako Tommy Tominage. The English voice of her. Doki Doki School Hours is basically, it's kind of a school comedy. In this case, Minako was a horror horror movie enthusiast as well as a good cook. Good slice of life one, basically revolving around a diminutive teacher who basically looked like a child but was actually an adult who taught this class of what you might say misfits in a way. Very fun comedy to check out. If you guys, I'd seriously recommend you check out Doki Doki School Hours if you want a good laugh, have a good time, some very good humor in it. And also in 2005, she was cast in the season. She reprised her role in season 2 of Dice as Marsha Rizaroff. Then we come to 2006, in which she was cast in Mega Man X: The Day of Sigma OVA as a navigator, training computer, transport voice. She was also involved in some of the Mega Man games. And then also in 2006, probably her most famous role came in My-HIME as Mai Tohika, the heroine of My-HIME, the My-HIME series, in which about every, I think it's something like 100 or 300 years, they repeat this cycle of determining Crystal Crane, trying to, somewhat of an apocalyptic type fantasy anime with, girls getting superpowers and all that, and controlling certain beasts. So interesting one to check out. This one was actually featured, I think, on one of the, I don't remember if it was Encore Wham or one of the, it was back in the late 2000s. It was featured on one of the cable channels at the time. I believe it was Encore Wham, but I'm not really sure. It could have been Showtime Beyond or IFC. I don't remember the exact channel that had this, but it's a good anime, one I think you guys should check out if you get a chance, if you haven't already. And then she was also cast as the older sister of one of the characters, Nobuo Ito, in Strawberry Marshmallow, and the special as well, episode 0, the special. And also she was cast in Full Moon O Sagashite, another kind of idol style anime that was kind of cute to watch. Probably her main role in that was as Madoka Wakamatsu, who was a rival idol to the main character, as well as Achan, the high school girl, and Confused Bystander. So as we move on to 2007, then she was cast in the Blue Water Dove of DG Carrot Neo as Robbie and Rose, aka Hikaru Isada. This is a part of course, the DG Carrot series. DG Carrot Neo was dubbed by Blue Water, as I mentioned. I think some of the other DG Carrot animes were dubbed by other companies, but this one was done. And again, another nice slice of life one. Her main role was as, of course, Robbie and Rose, Hikaru Sada, and then a bunch of other kind of like Serve Person 2, Dentist Customer 2, Dog Sings Beautiful Wonderful for Hikaru kind of thing. And then she was also in 2007 cast. Okay, so before I was interrupted by the ice cream truck there, some of you might have heard in the background there. I think I was getting to Tideline Blue. We're in 2007 here. In 2007, she was cast in Tideline Blue as Commander Josie Egnolf. She also had a couple other roles, basically about a battleship. I don't remember off the top of my head, but. And also in 2007, she was cast in The Law of Ueki as Marilyn Carey, One of Yuki, initially she was Ueki's adversary, but then became ally, among other characters. La Ueki was a pretty interesting anime in that it was about basically about teenagers getting superpowers given by the gods, or by angels, for to determine what they called the god candidate, and the person who'd win the tournament would become like basically the new god. So that was an interesting one. In Ueki's case, he got the power to change trash into trees. So, but she played Marilyn Carey, who was a military brat. I think she had the power to alter perception. I think or alter time, something like that. But again, another good anime to another good fun anime to check out if you guys want to. Moving on then to 2008 here. 2008, she kind of reprised her role. One of her first roles in 2008 was My-HIME, in which she kind of reprised her role as Mai Tohika. Now, My-HIME, it's in kind of the same universe as My-HIME, but it's also different in its own right. And here she was Meister Mai Tohika. These are about maidens who had nanobots put into their body, and were in there to they were training to be meisters who would protect royalty and stuff, and would only lose their power if they basically if they engaged in sexual intercourse with men. So, albeit they never actually said it in the anime, that was basically the implication there. So, and another interesting one to check out if you guys haven't already. Later that year, of course, she also involved in the My-HIME Z-Way OVA as Meister Mai Tohika. And also in 2008, she was cast in now this Hunter x Hunter that was dubbed in 2008 by Blue Water was the 1999 version. Obviously, it was 3 years before the version most people saw on Toonami, the 2011 version, but she was cast in the 1999 original version that was dubbed by Blue Water in 2008 as Menchi, the cooking hunter. And then she was also a TV reporter, summons announcements, TV commentator. The earlier Hunter x Hunter dub just went up through the Yorkview arc, whereas the one that most of you might know of as the 2011 Hunter x Hunter series went much further. But the 99 one is still pretty good to look at too. The only real difference between the two series is that 2011 went further into the arcs. The 99 version ended at the Yorkview arc. So, for those of you who are Hunter x Hunter fans, you might want to check that out. That one's a good anime too. Good action adventure type anime, fantasy adventure. Then in 2009, she was cast in Pretty Cure as Regine / Skyla, Kirea Fangirl number 2, Kid 1, Spectator 3. Again, for those who like girls getting superpowers and kicking butt, Pretty Cure is another good one to watch. If you're into like girl power and all that, that's another good one to watch. So that's one you guys might want to check out. Then, as we enter into 2010, she was cast in Del Toro Quest as Galathon, while Sharn and additional voices. Del Toro Quest was a fantasy adventure anime that was actually at one point broadcast on, I think it was Discovery Family. So some of you may have seen that one already too. It was a good anime, good fantasy adventure. I recommend you guys check that out. And then in 2011, she was cast in Viper's Creed, which is a mech post-apocalyptic anime, as Sakurako Karyu, or Karya. So, again, another. I'm actually watching that one right now. So as part of my, so that one is pretty good to watch. And then as we continue to move forward here, she was then in 2011 she was cast. Okay, so in 2011 she was cast in Card Fight Vanguard as Misaki Tokura, Mai Tobita, and Aichi's mother. Card Fight Vanguard is another one of those card game type animes like Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. The game, from what I understand, is pretty popular. It was the series was originally produced by Bushiroad, as well as Future Card Buddy Fight, which I'll get to in a moment here. You guys might want to check those animes out. Also in 2012, she was cast in Scan to Go as Pel, or Pel, which is a little robot, and I think Scan to Go might have been shown on TV as well. Also in 2014, she, of course, in a cameo appearance for Future Card Buddy Fight, had reprised her role as Misaki Tokura, as well as the announcer Paruka Nanana and Gummy Slime. Again, Future Card Buddy Fight, another Bushiroad product, basically based on card game, a trading card game. She was also Ninja Leaper Saratobi and Medusa, which were cards in the game. So again, then also in 2014, she was cast as Marie Yamano in LBX, Little Balor's Experience. I think as Marie, she was the mother of one of the main characters, about when they would go out and battle with transforming robots. She reprised her role as Misaki Tokura in Card Fight Vanguard G in 2015, as well as being cast as Masai Anjo, who I think was one of Misaki's friends. And then, finally, in 2015, she reprised her role as Paruka, as well as being Dynamis and Lightning Speed Tsukikage in Future Card Buddy Fight 100. So, with all that, I hope that's proved to be. I hope you guys have got a better idea of who Carol-Anne Day is. She's a nice lady and a good voice actress. I really recommend you guys catch some of her stuff. Check out her work. She's a Calgary-based voice actress out of Blue Water. And with that, you guys can go ahead and check the links below. My Twitter, if you want to contact me directly, you can direct message me. My Twitter handle will be down there. As you guys also see, I'm promoting a bunch of different dubbing companies. You guys might want to check those links out if you want to find out more about these companies and what they've done, what works they've done. And I'm also still promoting, of course, Vic's GoFundMe to cover for his legal expenses, as well as covering for Lisa Ortiz's family's GoFundMe for her brother's house, and that Umbrella Guy's Indiegogo, independent work. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If you're able to, and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you have donated, please consider donating again. And if you can't donate, you can still help out by sharing the links and getting the word out. Maybe somebody in your network will see it and will want to help Vic out as well with that, particularly with his GoFundMe. And if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always enjoy the conversations, as long, of course, as they're respectful and intelligent. I will not put up with any harassment or taunting or any kind of nasty comments either. So just keep that in mind. But if you're wanting to learn more and have a good conversation about the materials that I talk about, I'll always reply back to you. And don't forget, there's going to be a premiere episode. So I hope to see you guys Friday when this premieres at 5 o'clock. Always look forward to the chat as well during the premiere. If you guys have any additional questions for me during the chat, you can always ask me. If I have the information, I'll give it to you. If I don't have it off the top of my head, I can look it up. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope that you guys enjoy the chat when this premieres. Anyways, until next time, bye.